Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Abdulaziz, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. I'm just opening something. Okay. Uh, this is it. All right. Abdulaziz, if you're ready, let's start. Tell me about similar triangles. When two figures are considered to be similar? We have two conditions, right, to be similar to each other. What are they? What is the first one?
Angle, similarity.
No. Two figures are similar if their corresponding angles are congruent, right?
Yeah.
And number two, corresponding sides are
Uh,
congruent, I mean proportional, right?
Proportionally.
You have to know these things, Abdulaziz. You must know these things. Two figures are similar, then we have only two conditions. Number one, all of their corresponding angles must be congruent, and their corresponding sides must be proportional. It means that, again, let me just practice a few questions from here, and we'll move on some similarity tests. Now, if you look at this in the question, it's saying that CDE is similar to triangle FGE. So immediately you have to know that angle C is congruent to angle F. So that means that this angle is congruent to this angle. And these angles are vertical angles. That's why they are congruent, right? And also this angle D and third angles, right? It must be congruent to this angle. And after that, corresponding sides are proportional. So that means that opposite this angle, let's say opposite angle C, we have 6x plus 3. Angle C corresponds to angle F. Opposite F, we have 17. And the opposite, what else? This angle, right? Angle D. Angle D, we have 8x minus 1 over D corresponds G, right? So here we have 21. And how do we write this proportion using the definition, right? Actually, the criteria. Two figures are similar if and only if number one, all corresponding angles are congruent. Number two, corresponding sides are proportional. And after that, we just cross multiply 6 times 21, 126x, and 3 times 21, 63. On the right hand side, 18 times 17, 17 times 8. What is 17 times 8? 100.
Well,
Yes. What is 8 times 17? 8 times 10, 80, right? 8 times 7, 56. So that is 136 x, right? Minus 17. And move to the right-hand side, the difference is 10x. Move 70 to the left-hand side, that is 70 and 80, right? So x is equal to 8. I mean, it's just a revision. When we talk about similarity, Abdulaziz, always you should know that number one, that your corresponding sides are angles are congruent and the corresponding sides are proportional. Every time I'm going to ask you because that is one of the most important thing in geometry, topic in geometry, similar figures. Abdulaziz. Abdulaziz. Okay, Abdulaziz.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. How many questions left here? Four more questions, and we will move on tests. Let's do it quickly, okay? So now it's already given. Triangle KMZ is similar to triangle KDH. It's given, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you just tell me the proportion here? All right, let's start with KM. Do we know KM?
X plus 8.
X plus 8. KM corresponds to
KD.
KD. What is KD?
21.
X plus 29. 9. KD. KD, right?
Yeah.
What is KD? X plus 29, right?
Oh.
Can you see that? KD equals X plus 8 plus 21. Okay, equals next. And KZ, it is 32. KZ corresponds to what side?
KH.
KH. What is KH?
60.
60. Before we continue, we can simplify. Both numbers are divisible by 4, right? By 4, it is 8. By 4, it is 15. And now we cross multiply 15x plus 8 times 15, 120. 8 times x, it is 8x. What is 8 times 29? 8 times 30, 240, right? Minus 8, it should be 232. Is it right? I just cross multiply. And move 8x to the left-hand side, it is 7x. And 120 to the right-hand side, 112. What is x? 7 times 15, 105. So it should be 7 times 16, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Abdullah, now I will give you some time. You do question 9. Can you do this in 90 seconds? Write your ratio and calculate and tell me what is x.
Six.
6. How many answers are there? Abdulaziz. Look, AG, right? Let's start with AG. AG is 24. AG corresponds to what side?
FL.
FL. FL is X equals, and the GN. GN is X plus 7. And GN corresponds to LS, right?
Yeah.
LS is 6. If you cross multiply here, X times X plus 7, that is X squared plus 7X. 6 times 24, 144. Did you get this equation first? We have quadratic equation here. And now if you move to the left-hand side, I have here X squared plus 7X minus 144 is equal to 0. And now we need to solve this by factorization. Also actual formula, but factorization is a faster method. The coefficient of x is 1, right? Look, how am I going to factorize this? X squared, I can write it as x times x, 144 as 16 and 9. So it is positive, right? So this should be positive, this should be negative. If you cross multiply, and add this 16x. So this one is 16x. And x times negative 9, it is negative 9x. And their sum is 7x. You see in the middle, we have 7x. Maybe one day I will teach you how to solve quadratic equation. So I can factorize it as x minus 9 and x plus 16. That's equal to 0. X is a length. That's why it cannot be equal to negative 16. So that's why the answer should be x equals 9. Okay?
Yeah.
Next. Now try 10, Abdulaziz.
Uh, 15/4.
15 over 4?
Yeah.
That's not correct. First, let me just write the ratios. The first one on the top, on the left, on the right. First, let's start with SE, x minus 2. SE corresponds to what side? JE,
GE.
right? Can you see that?
Yeah.
JE, that is 10. And next one is CE, it is 18. CE corresponds to YE, right?
Yeah.
YE is x plus 1. First, did you write your proportion like this? And now we cross multiply. First, actually, again, corresponding size of proportion. You should be careful with this, okay? Angles and the corresponding size. Cross multiply. If you cross multiply, here we have x minus 2 times x plus 1. It should be equal to 18 times 10, which is equal to 180. And how we open these parentheses? Look, here we have Here we have something like this. Here we have x minus 2. Is it minus or plus? Minus 2, x plus 1. And x plus 1, right? I need to expand this. How do you expand this? Multiply x by x and x by 1. So that is x squared plus x. And next term by x and by 1. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times 1, it is negative 2. And simplify. Here, x squared minus x minus 2, right?
Yeah.
On the right-hand side, Abdulaziz, we have 180. On the right-hand side, I have 180. If you move to the left-hand side, I have this equation, x squared minus x minus 182 is equal to 0, right? So here we have x squared minus x minus 182 is equal to 0. Now we're going to solve this by factorization. How? So x squared is the only way is I can write it as x times x. And how about 182? The difference should be actually negative 1. So that is 13 and the 14. So this one is minus. I put minus here. You see x times x is x squared. 13 times negative 14 is negative 82, 182. If you cross multiply and add it, you will get minus x, the middle term. And now I can factorize it as x minus 14 times x plus 13. That is equal to 0. So that means that either this x minus 14 should be equal to 0 or x plus 13 should be equal to 0. So this one is rejected. Why rejected? Because x represents length here. It cannot be a negative number. That's why this is rejected. That's why the only possible answer for x is 14. Abdullah, I think we should learn how to solve quadratic equation with you. Maybe it doesn't actually appear much here, but still, at this level, you should know how to solve quadratic equations. Okay, Abdulaziz, did you get it a little bit more? Abdulaziz, say something.
No.
You didn't understand? You didn't understand the solving quadratic equation, or you didn't understand anything?
Everything.
You didn't understand anything.
Yeah.
So we have to learn this similarity again from the beginning. I'm just using a definition. What did you write here? Can you read it?
Polygons with the same shape, but different sizes.
Are called similar polygons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the second one.
Polygons are similar if corresponding angles are congruent, corresponding sides are proportional.
Okay, we are saying that polygons are similar if corresponding angles are congruent and corresponding sides are proportional. So we are just using this definition, that rule. Every time we are using the same rule. But here in this question, question 10, right? We are talking about question 10. Question 10. In the question is saying that triangle CSE is similar to triangle YJE, right?
Yeah.
It's saying similar. So what does similar mean?
Equal.
It means that corresponding angles are congruent. So that means that this angle E is congruent to angle E. And angle C, you see angle C, this one is angle C, is congruent to angle Y. Angle Y. And angle S is congruent to angle J. Angle J is here, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one is saying that it is proportional. What does proportional mean? That means that corresponding sides are proportional. And also we define proportional, right? Proportion means that ratios are equal. You see, here we have CS, right? CS corresponds to YJ, but they are not given. That's why I didn't write them. And SE corresponds to EY, right? And the CE corresponds to YE. X minus 2. You see, X minus 2 corresponds to X. What is it? X minus 2 corresponds to 10, right? So that's why here we have X minus 2 over 10 equals 18 over X plus 1. That's the first one. Did you understand this ratio first?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
And how about the previous question? Did you understand that? We did together. Did you understand these questions? Last time we did these questions. Okay, no problem. I thought you understand. I went a bit faster. I will rewrite and do it in slow and slow, okay? All right, I'm erasing everything. I'm going to rewrite this. That's why, did you print out this paper, Abdulaziz? By
I
just
don't have
watching,
paper.
you cannot learn. You need to have a notebook, and we must have worksheet on your table, write on it, then you can learn. By just watching, listening, you cannot learn math. Okay. Now in the question, it says that triangle CSE is similar to YGE. What you have to do is, if you actually, struggling to understand this, I suggest you to write the ratio using the vertices. Like CS, right? Let's start with CS. CS corresponds to what side? Tell me.
YG.
YG, right here, YG. YG or J? YJ, right? And how about SE?
JE.
SE, JE. And how about CE?
YE.
YE. Okay, the first thing you have to write like this if you are not sure. And now plug what is given here. Do we know CS?
No.
We don't know. If you can write or you don't have to write. It's up to you, okay? But it's not given, so let me just keep it here. What is SE?
X minus 2.
X minus 2, right? What is JE?
10.
It is 10. Done. What is CE?
18.
18 over. What is YE?
X plus 1.
X plus 1. So now I'm going to solve it for X. To solve this one, the first, actually, the ratio I don't need. I just need this part, right? So if we have this ratio, how do we solve this? By cross multiplication. Look, here we have X minus 2. I'm going to solve it here. X minus 2 over 10 equals 18 over X plus 1. 18 over X plus 1. So we have to solve it, right? And if you
Yeah.
remember, Abdulaziz, if you remember, if we have proportion A divided by B equals C divided by D, how do you solve this? This one is equivalent to A times D is equal to B times C, right? By just cross multiplying, we solve it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to cross multiply now. You see that the expressions at the bottom, they go to the top. But across the equation here, we have X minus 2 x minus 2 times, and here we have x plus 1. Cross multiplication, right? Cross multiplication. And equals, here we have 18 times 10. And now we open parentheses. How do I open this? Using distributive property again. I'm going to use this property. If we have a times x plus y, if you remember, also we have studied this with you. Distribute a over x, a over y. So that is a times x, a times y. And how about if we have 2, if we have something like this, a plus b times c plus d, we distribute a over each, that is a times c plus a times d, and after that b by c, b times c plus b times d. And using this one, I'm going to distribute this x times x, it is x squared, x times 1, it is just x. Done. The second one, negative 2. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x, negative 2 times 1, negative 2. On the right-hand side, we have 180, right?
Yes.
And now simplify. X squared, x minus 2x, it is negative x. Move 180 to the left-hand side, minus 2 minus 180, that is minus 182. That's equal to 0. And now next thing is we need to solve this equation. How do I solve this? Again, actually, we are using this idea. Look, again, I'm using this distributive property again. So this 180, I know that I can write it as 14 times 13, right?
Yeah.
And also this negative x, I can write it as 13x minus 14x, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is x squared. Instead of minus x, I can write plus 13x minus 14x. And still I have here 14 times 13. Because this actually needs a kind of skill, okay? How can we obtain this skill? You need to practice questions. Without practicing, you cannot learn this like that. We need to practice. That is under quadratic equations. I was going to teach you, but all of a sudden we just moved the geometry. That's why we had to skip this. Now x squared plus 13x. X is a common factor here. So factor of x. So here we have x plus 13. And now here, negative 14 is a common factor. Negative 14 is a common factor. So here we have x plus 13 is equal to 0. And now if you look at this carefully, x plus 13 and x plus 13 is a common factor. X plus 13 and times, here we have x minus 14, that's equal to 0. But actually, I don't want to spend too much time on this because now we are learning geometry, not algebra. But if you have hard time, I can teach you this, okay? Maybe 2-3 classes, how to solve quadratic equation. And now the product of two numbers is equal to 0. When it's equal to 0, either this should be equal to 0 or this should be equal to 0. And we know that x should be positive, x equals negative 13, or x equals 14. This x cannot be negative, that's why this answer is rejected. And our final answer would be 14. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe 1 hour we'll practice this. That's how I did this. Again, if you cross multiply, here we have x minus 2 times x plus 1. So that's equal to 180. And if you open the parentheses and simplify this, we get x squared minus x minus 180. That's equal to 0. Or if you factorize this, x minus 14, x plus 13, that's equal to 0. Now from here, the answer should be 14. Okay, again, two things. Number one, two things are similar to each other. That means that your corresponding angles are congruent and corresponding sides are proportional. That is the geometry part, and the rest is algebra part. Now you should be able to solve it using algebra. You have to print out this paper, Abdullah. You need to solve it, and we discuss together again. Then you can learn well. Otherwise, it will be very surface knowledge. I'm moving to the next question, Abdulaziz. Now you try question 11. Read the question.
If triangle KLM similar to triangle PQR with scale factor 3 to 5, find the perimeter of triangle PQR.
First, we have to find the perimeter of PQR, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So that means that suppose that the perimeter of the first triangle is, let's say this P1. And the perimeter of the second figure is P2. Abdul, if you remember, and also we have one rule here. We derive that rule from the definition, right? Well, what did we say here? We said that if, what is the ratio of the perimeter of triangle DEF to ABC? Also, they are proportional, right?
yeah,
Because also the perimeters, if polygons are similar, then their perimeters are also proportional. So what does it mean? Proportional means that if you take the ratio of their what is this perimeters, also that is equal to the ratio of their corresponding sides. Okay, we are going to use this property. Let's solve this together and you'll try the next question. Since it is so, number one, the scale factor is given. You see, the question is scale factor is given. If you remember, what is the scale factor? It is the ratio of corresponding sides, right? So first, let's find perimeter one. What is perimeter one? It is 6 plus 12 plus 15, which is equal to 33, right? That's the first step. And then the second step, I know that perimeter 1 to perimeter 2, that's equal to 3 to 5. And perimeter 1, we know that is 33. Over perimeter 2, I don't know yet. And here we have 3 over 5. Right? And now if you cross multiply and divide by 2, we will get perimeter 2. What is perimeter 2? Is equal to 33 times 5 over 3. I just moved this fraction to the left, which is equal to 55. Right?
yeah.
Okay. Now you try question 12. Let's have a look and we can try question 12. I'll give it 2 minutes, okay?
30.
30?
Yeah,
Okay. So first, it says find the perimeter TFE, right? TFE. Suppose that this one is P1 and this one is P2. Okay. So first I can find P2. What is P2? 22 plus 40 plus 54. That's equal to 62, 66, 116, right? And number two, P1, P1 over P2 is equal to, and its corresponding size, 25 over 40. So which is equal to by 5, it is 5, by 5, it is 8. So we have to find P1. Then P1 is equal to 5 over 8 times P2, which is 116. AD, how much did you get?
30.
25 for 29 by 4, it is 2. Why do I get different answer here? So the answer is 145. So that is 72.5. Did you say 30?
Yeah,
It's not possible. How can it be 30? Abdulaziz, it's a perimeter. It cannot be 30. Did you understand here? First, I found the perimeter of the second one. We are given two triangles, so they are similar to each other. The perimeter of the second one is 22 plus 40 plus 54, which is 116. Ratio of their perimeters is also equal to the ratio of their corresponding size. P1 over P2 is equal to 25 over 40. Why? Because TE, right? TE, see here, TE corresponds TR, right? TR. That's 25 over 40. So these are corresponding sides. Okay?
yeah.
All right. So we have to practice more questions with you. All right, let's continue. Okay. Should we do homework with you or tests? The homework questions you have to do it yourself. We can do this, but it's gonna take a lot of time if you do everything here. Now let's do the revision. Okay, revision of what we have learned so far. Abdullah, when two figures are similar, huh? When we say that two figures are similar to each other, two figures are similar if
They are congruent.
their corresponding angles are congruent and
Sides.
huh?
Sides.
Corresponding sides are proportional. Can you repeat it? Corresponding side angles are congruent. Say it. Two figures are similar if their corresponding angles are congruent and their corresponding sides are proportional. Yes, Abdullah, say it. Two figures are similar if
Two figures are similar.
If
if they are congruent.
their corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, yeah, we're going to read one more time. Read it. Similar polygons.
Consider same shape but different size.
Sizes.
Polygons are similar if corresponding angles are congruent,
Uh-huh.
and corresponding sides are proportional.
Just write like this. Okay, polygons with the same shape but different sizes. They are called polygon. So polygons are similar if their corresponding angles are congruent. I can rewrite this. So let's look. If their corresponding angles are congruent, right? And the corresponding sides are proportional. And their corresponding sides are proportional. What does mean? It means that ratios are equal. Their corresponding angles are congruent and their corresponding sides are proportional. We have to know these two things. Okay? All right. Let's do the quiz and finish our class. Let's do as much as we can. You have to sometimes practice yourself, Abdulaziz. Otherwise, we can learn, but it will go really fast, slow. Read the first question, Abdulaziz, and explain how do we do this question.
The ratio of the measures of three angles in a triangle is 14, 5, 11. Find the measures of the angles. Show both.
Right? It says that the ratio of the measures of the three angles in a triangle is 15 to 5 to 11. Find the measures of the angles. Show all your work. Okay. First, we had the setup equation, right? What is the equation? Since they are in this ratio, right? So here we have 14p plus 5p. P is the number of units, right? And 11p. You can use p or q or r or x. You can use anything, but I like to use p. So that should be equal to 180 degrees, right?
Yeah.
Because the sum of the interior angles of any triangles is 180. What is 14 plus 5?
19.
90. 90 plus 11?
30.
30. So here we have 30p is equal to 180. So what is the value of p?
70.
6. 180 divided by 30 is 6, right?
Yeah.
And now we can find the angles. Let's say angle A is 14 times 6. What is 14 times 6?
84.
84. 84 degrees. And how about angle B? It is 5 times 6, which is 30 degrees. And angle C, it is 11 times 6, that is 66 degrees, right? And now we can write the angles here, maybe from the biggest to the smallest. So the first angle is 84, second one is 30 degrees, and third one is 66 degrees. Okay? Do
Yeah.
question two, Abdulaziz, yourself. I'll give you 90 seconds, okay? First, read the question.
The ratio of the measures of the sides of a triangle is 973. If the perimeter of the angle is 266 inches, find the length of the shortest side.
Find the length of the shortest sides. 90 seconds. Do it in your notebook and tell me the length of the shortest sides. Yes, Abdullah.
28.
What is it?
Hmm,
The shortest side.
28.
What?
28.
28.
Yeah.
No. The ratio of the measures of the sides of a triangle is 9 to 7 to 3. If the perimeter of the triangle is 266. So number one, the perimeter, right? So sides are, let's say there's 9x and 7x plus 3x. So that's equal to 266. For did you write like this?
No.
Huh?
No.
So what did you write in your first line? What did you write? Can you show me your paper? Abdullah, do you have a phone?
No.
Take a picture and send
What?
it to me. Let me see. What did you write in the first line?
Uh, 9x plus 7x plus 3x equals 180.
180? No, it says you're talking about perimeter here, right?
Yeah.
Not the interior angle. It says perimeter of the triangle. How do you find the perimeter? We add sides, right? That's equal to 266 inches, right?
Yeah.
Come on, Abdulaziz, you're scaring me now. It's saying that here 266 perimeter. And now here 19x should be equal to 266. So from here, x is equal to 266 divided by 19. That's equal to 14. Okay, Abdulaziz.
Yeah.
And we find the size. So side A is equal to 9 times 14. And side B, it is 7 times 14. And side C, it is 3 times 14. Since it's asking the shorter side is 42. This is the shorter side, right?
Yeah.
The shortest side of this triangle is 42 centimeters. Okay, Abdulaziz.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do one more question and finish the class. Read question 3.
The figures below are similar. Find the scale factor of figure B to figure A.
So what is a scale factor? Figure B to figure A, right? So let me just write here figure B to figure A. You just take any corresponding sides, right?
Yeah.
That 27 corresponds to what side?
So
9. Because 27 is the shortest right here. 27, 48, 60. So here, the 9 is the shortest side, right?
yeah.
Shortest side corresponds to the shortest side. Longest side corresponds to the longest side. And medium side corresponds to the medium side. So 27 to 9. And 27 to 9 is just 3. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. I stop here. Now I have already shared these questions. Try to finish these questions in 6A, Abdulaziz. Try to finish and solve every question. It must be a piece of cake for you. And once again, this similarity is very important topic in math. Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
Can you print out this paper somewhere?
Yeah.
If you can print out, print out. If you have iPad or something, write on it. But you need to solve it or just solve it in a notebook. Okay, Abdulaziz, have a good day. I will see you on Saturday. Okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye.